Hi, I'm Ellie Williams, and I'm here to host the kickoff. Apparently, this is a rubbish show, and I'm going to fix it all up for you. Let's make kickoff great again, team. Let's go!
Israel Dagg is back, and so is Thursday night kickoff. Tonight we talk dirty tactics and Joe Marler sticking his hands in the wrong pie. If you thought that was a shocker, how about the Hurricanes last week? Can they revive themselves against the table-topping Chiefs? We put big bad Brad Weber to the test before the big game. And the Blues, this surely is their year. As always, hard-hitting rugby analysis, a healthy dose of competition, and some questionable chat.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Kickoff. It's great to have you here tonight. And well, if you didn't notice, we've got fresh blood on the show, and the only way to welcome fresh blood in is a bit of initiation. Ellie Williams, welcome into the team.
Thanks very much, guys. I'm really privileged to be here. Obviously, I've heard so many great things about this show.
I'm sure you've watched it several times too. Every time someone new comes on, we usually embarrass them, but this time we're throwing you the banner. Do you want to embarrass anyone? You've got a story to tell us?
No stories, and I don't like embarrassing people. I mean, I've had hair implants like this goose here has. And, I've got myself into trouble like this clown. I mean, Angus is probably the only clean-cut gentleman on this couch, and then you're obviously the picture of how...
The host. The host.
Oh, you're the host.
They
put me in the middle. I don't know what it was all about. So, look, I'm really excited to be here. First appearance for Sky Television this year, so I'm excited.
You must have done something special to be back on here. Izzy, where have you been?
Oh, just been working away down Queenstown and Waihi, but I'm back. It's good to be back. I've missed you all, and I've missed the show, so I'm here for good now. You're going to see my face every Thursday.
I think Angus is back for good too. You're walking wounded at the moment.
Yep. Fresh off a bit of surgery. Able to bend my knee now. I thought I was going to take his spot and keep him away, but obviously he's come back.
No, you're on project.
Hey, just a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Nice.
Here we go.
And Mills, maybe next time you should tell Ellie the dress.
Oh, mate, you obviously didn't get the memo, mate. This is casual, mate. It's not breakdown. Come on, bro.
Well, it's quite clear that I'm the only one that still works here. Gallivant around and, you're flat out. Why here? Queenstown? I've been really busy. Oh, mate.
Sky Sport major host for the Queenstown Golf. Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. OK, well, there was a bit of an incident, if you can call it that, over the weekend, and it was in the Six Nations. Joe Marler had a bit of a field day. Ellie, you must have done some tricks like this in your time. There it is.
This is absolute magic, isn't it? This is sportsmanship at its best. He wants to understand his opposition, where his strengths and weaknesses are, where he's bigger in some areas than he is in others. And, mate, this is mad. That's sport. That's a bit of humour. It's a bit of banter.
When you're winning on the scoreboard, it's good, eh? I remember CJ giving us a hiding down in Christchurch, and he must have made his first tackle ever. And, he gave me a little something, but because they were giving me a hiding, I was so angry.
What did you get?
Wow. Little hopoari, I think it was.
And you enjoyed it?
Well, I didn't enjoy it. We're getting a hiding, but, he just ran off laughing like a little kid.
Have you had anything like that happen to you?
Oh, a little bit of this and that at training, but, it's all part of fun. But, I mean, is that worth 12 weeks?
No, I don't think so. It does happen. I mean, we've had but you sort of have a laugh about it. I got it done once underneath the bottom of a ruck by Jerry Collins, and he was just laughing at me. So it was... But, I mean, they know each other, That's I suppose, the biggest thing. I don't think it's worth 12 weeks.
Well, there's some other fun and games that go on the rugby field, right?
Yeah, I mean, we play each other so regularly. You get to know people, and you a bit of banter here, there, and everywhere. And it's like, well, you got to enjoy life. They say, if you enjoy life, then you don't really work a day in your life. So, I'm all for Joe Marler just touching it up, mate.
What happened with the Andrew Hall story that you've got?
Oh, that was...
Well, one.
Off camera, you were pretty confident. Okay.
No, we just had a bet at a pub, and we said, look, if you win, then there's $100 on it. But there's one catch to this, is you've got to put $100 in your sock during the game. And if anyone during the game gets that $100 out, then the money's yours. Doesn't matter about the result.
Who won?
Well, yeah, we got smashed by the Highlanders, and after the match, Hori came up and grabbed his hundy out for me, and TAB got a bit grumpy on it, but honestly, there was nothing inside on it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Friendly friendly humour.
Hey, well, our good friends at Rugby Pass, you don't think it should be a ban for 12 weeks. And Rugby Pass have posted on social media, they've asked you out there, do you think Marler should be banned for this? What do you call it? A grab? Nut grab, they've called it. 45 said yes, 55, which is the majority. Ali says no.
Yeah,
We're in agreement?
A ban's ridiculous. What do you think? I mean, you're on the other side of the fence with this whole operation. We're all males here. Where do you sit on this?
Well, it's a bit of a laugh, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you don't have a bit of a laugh, there's something wrong with
We
you.
saw the smirk on his face. He was having fun.
Yeah.
And he's a character too, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is a character.
There you go.
Well, look at his haircut. He looks like a goose.
I don't think you two can comment on haircut.
Oh, my haircut's one of the mill at the moment.
The greatest comeback. Holy.
But there was also another one. Izzy, you've got something for us. You've got the tablet takeover
Yep,
that
I
you're
have.
doing, and it's Ask Izzy questions. We've had it every week. We've had Ask Angus first, then we had Stacey. Have you got any questions on Instagram, Sky Sport NZ?
Yeah, there's a few. Mr. Constantly Hungry. He must need
Oh, is that you?
feed. He said the NBA has suspended their season today. Do you think the Super Rugby will follow suit? If so, when? Obviously, the coronavirus. That's a tough question. I don't know. I'll pass to the panel. What do you reckon, Millsy?
Well,
Gussie?
No, I'm not Millsy, you go.
I think I mean, at the moment it's not. Super Rugby hasn't been. We're still going. But, I mean, with what's going on, it's a pretty serious call, and the NBA sort of cuts things halfway through. So, I don't know. I'm just going to sit on the fence on this one.
I think that the difference with that is they were going to play with no fans, but because it was one of the players, Rudy Gobert from the Jazz,
That's right.
I think that's what changed it. So it'll be interesting to see if one of the players came out with it, how that would affect, because obviously in a team environment, travelling, touching each other.
He joked
No
about it
touching,
too.
so it's elbows now, eh?
The corona. Hey,
I got another one.
I mean, Ali was
Yeah, go
kissing me
another one.
beforehand.
So, another one from someone on here. Yeah. Who do you think the most underrated player in Super Rugby is? You probably are still playing, so we could probably answer this.
Clifford, the big red dog.
Yeah?
Tom Robinson, mate. He's absolute champion.
Tom Robinson.
Tom Robinson. I've got a love affair for.
You do have a
He's
love
just a
affair for
champion,
Clifford, the big red dog.
Anyone with red hair and grows it long is
But how's he
standalone
underrated?
legend.
People rate him.
Well, he should be an All Black, mate, right now.
Well, he got injured. He got injured during that trial.
You just asked me. Don't get too in depth with me, mate. I'm just here. This is kick-off. It's a light-hearted show. This is why you got me on
Millsy,
here.
who do you
Holy heck, yeah.
Don't have to explain, just say
I
it.
don't know. I'm not too sure, actually.
Don't watch much rugby, yeah?
I'll give love to one of my Chiefs boys, Alex Nankerville.
Yeah.
I think he's a sharp player. Obviously, our midfield's pretty stacked,
Yeah,
but what he brings to the table when he's on.
Yeah, I'll go Ethan Blackadder. He's come back from injury and he's going to have a hell of a season.
Nice.
There we go.
Nice. OK, well, let's get into the season then, shall we? It's round 7 of Super Rugby. What's going on? Where are the games? And who's playing this weekend? Well, first up, you've got the Chiefs taking on the Hurricanes. Hamilton, that is live tomorrow night. The Blues against the Lions. An early one from Eden Park, and kids are only $9. So get along to that one. And then you've got a double-header at Suncorp Stadium. The Sunwolves against the Crusaders, which is, of course, that rescheduled match. And then the Reds against the Bulls. And Mills, you're there for those two games?
Yeah, can't wait. Looking forward to that. I've got my mask, don't worry. Sanitise everything too.
Sharks against the Stormers, Jaguares against the Highlanders, and the Highlanders desperately need another win, but a very tough place to play when you're going over to Argentina. And then, of course, the Brumbies against the Waratahs. That one is Sunday evening. But our big game this week, well, of course, it's the derby. The Chiefs up against the Hurricanes tomorrow night in Hamilton. We are live from 6:30. And the Chiefs, well, they're coming off a massive, massive win over the Waratahs. And for the Hurricanes, well, they were a little bit sloppy last week, Izzy.
Yes, they were. Own worst enemies. It just made bad judgments with their tackle technique. I don't know who their defence coach is, but he'll be under the pump this week.
Who is it?
Who was that?
Who? I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Oh, that guy on the wing.
Someone's a
He'd be a
defence
great
coach.
defence.
Anyway,
Did he even tackle? He's such a
I don't
goon,
know.
that guy.
But anyway, they just their own worst enemy. Even down to 12 players, it's going to be a hard ask, and the Blues took the opportunities.
Well, you know they will not do that again this weekend. Tomorrow night it is going to be a great game, and if, well, that's not enough to get you hyped, surely this track is. Get hyped, get familiar.
Going unreal.
Hey, rotation. So Chiefs have used 38 players this season, and it's clearly working for the Mills.
Oh, and it's keeping them happy as well, because everyone's getting a crack. And so, a happy environment, an environment where there's not many injuries as well. So they're tracking nicely. And the win that they got in Wollongong last week was just something special. So looking forward to this game. The Hurricanes will need to bounce back. They'll be disappointed with last week, so it should be some physicality, is he?
Are we glossing over something here?
What's that?
The fact that the Blues really dominated the Hurricanes.
Come on,
and
Alli,
they just
come on.
literally took them to the swords and, you know, they pounced on every opportunity. But no, good luck, Chiefs. I think the Hurricanes will bounce back, though. They're a pretty strong outfit.
Okay. Well, now that you're done with the Blues, because we're going to talk about them a little bit later,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
talking about the fullback, because they're the majority on the show, right? We're talking about Geordie Barrett going up against Damien McKenzie. How good is this combination, Izzy?
Mate, that's what people pay tickets for, to go see these guys. These are the guys that create something out of nothing. And Geordie's kicking goals from anywhere, and he's a physical player, and that's what I love about him. He doesn't mind the contact. He's running into guys bigger than him, bowling them over, and he's just real physical, and he stays on his feet, scores wonderful tries. So, yeah, it's going to be mouth-watering. And then D-Mac, he's 2 weeks in, you know, having a bit of rest, went down and played a bit of golf. He'll be coming back fresh.
Lad out, D-Mac. Lad out.
He'll be coming back fresh, looking to, you know, step off where he, you know, doing offloads and things like that. But I just want to see D-Mac get his hands in the ball. I love him at fullback. He get more time on the ball. He's got more space. Keep him out wide and keep Azza at 10.
More importantly, did you beat him at golf?
Smoked them. Smoked all the ambassadors. So, nah, hey, see you later.
Here's the stats. Damien McKenzie, more defenders beaten 12, but Geordie Barrett, more metres per carry mills. Two completely different players, right?
Yeah, they are. I mean, they've both got X factor. There's no doubt about that. But they're two different sort of beasts. You know, you've got Geordie who loves the physicality. You say he runs into small guys. Mate, he's a big man himself, so he loves getting amongst it and getting confidence from that. Whereas on the other side, you've got McKenzie, who sort of, you know, snipes little wee gaps, uses that acceleration, has a little bit uses a bit of flair, also the backwards passes and things like that. So two very different players in terms of that side of it. But I think defensively, when you look at it from what you spoke about before the show, you know, the way that Geordie throws himself at guys, you know, the last line of defence is probably something that, you know, Damien, you know, for a small man, he loves throwing his bodies, but I think the physicality for me from Geordie probably the last line of defence is something special.
Well, let's move on and let's talk about Aaron Crudin now. He seems like he's been in cruise control this season. Alli, you know a thing or two about kicking, don't you?
Yeah, well, I thought I did. But, mate, it's pretty special when guys can come back from overseas, learn what they've done over there in terms of a different way of life, different culture, and then come back and fit straight into sort of driving a New Zealand team, and especially something like the Chiefs with all that talent. I mean, he's a special player.
D-Mac was speaking to me about Cruds when he was down in Queenstown, and what he just loves how he's just cruising around the back, and he's commanding all the orders, he's ordering the show, telling where the forwards need to be, and he's calm. Like, at the heat of the moment, he's really relaxed, and D-Mac was saying, like, that's what they needed. They needed someone in there that just stays cool, calm and collected, and that shows in their performance.
Yeah, Angus, is that what you've noticed with having Crudin back?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is the excitement. Him being back in New Zealand obviously didn't go too well over in France, but coming back to sort of, I suppose, the place that really propelled him to the next level. And him being able to, some young guys like Caleb Charskin that are coming through, just having his experience and the way he talks. And like you said, he's really calm and he shows it on the field.
Is he the Form 10 of the competition at the moment, Mills?
I think so. I definitely think so. And that's what experience brings to guys like this, especially in key positions where, you know, they're under the pump, but couple of sort of words or commands, and all of a sudden, you know, guys are on task. And you'd have to say he is at the moment with what he's going. But also, I think his physicality, we often know he's a small man. But you know, the French style has actually, you know, made him a lot bigger down that channel in the way he's defending. So when you've got a small guy like that who's experienced in making his tackles and putting guys on their backsides, I mean, that's motivating in itself for other guys around him too.
Yeah, well, let's talk more about the physicality, the grunty stuff. We're talking about the rise of Lachlan Boucher, Alli. This must be something you want to sink your teeth into.
Well, I mean, he came from nowhere last year, didn't he, in terms of what he's done. And just his physicality and his energy. I think, like anything, we see all these great young players come through, but something makes them stand out more than anything, and it's their excitement when they get involved. And I mean, look at his turnover, his ability to crunch, and I mean, he's a great ball carrier too. He keeps on his feet. He's just loving the life. He's loving the journey, I'd say, like that.
Yeah, I've loved watching his development. I played with him Taranaki when he was a young kid coming out of New Plymouth Boys High School, and to see where he's come to now. And what I love about him is whenever you look at him, he's always like, he looks like he's all done, but he'll keep going. He'll put himself in dark places. We call him the contortionist because honestly, some of those positions he puts his body in, like he could be in a little box, but he's He just gets back up.
You're right, it's just decision making. I mean, some of those turnovers that he's had to do, they're like the death of the game. You know, if he gives away a penalty, he doesn't make a good decision there, then it's gone. I think the Blues game where he sort of turned that ball over when it's a really close game, that's where he's starting to really shine. Those key moments that he's winning.
And then you got him making the tackle, and then you got Sam Cane over the ball. So that's a combination. You don't want to run into that. Yep.
Yeah, the kings of turnovers, the Chiefs have been, and they've scored, I think, 8 tries, is it, directly off turnovers this season, Angus?
Yeah, you could say they're not barred at turnovers and counter-attacking. I don't think we've had any scored against us, so, you know, we must be doing something
You
right.
read the sheet.
mate, that's my team, you know. I just take those things on board, mate. I'm watching them every week.
No.
OK, well, the Chiefs, they've got a weapon on the wing, Sean Stevenson. Has he come of age this season? He's been in the Chiefs environment for a number of years now. Still only young, but is this his year?
I think he's always been good, and I think he's always had the game to be great. I think what I'm loving about him this year is his confidence. He wants to get the ball, and he's getting the ball. He's making tackles like this, where I reckon in previous years he's dropped the ball here and there, or he's missed the tackle.
Wow.
You got to have confidence to do something like that.
That's crazy.
And try, so.
But he is a confidence player, and we spoke about the rotation before. This is something that's really helped a guy like this, because there's another Sean that's sort of sitting out. He's a really good player as well, Sean Wainui. But all of a sudden, when you're rotating the squad and you're getting guys out there, playing getting regular game time, they thrive on stuff like that. Otherwise, usually he's left out because Sean Wainui's playing so well. Then it takes him a while to get back into things.
OK, well, let's bring in his partner in crime, shall we? Brad Weber is standing by from the City of the Future, Hamilton, of course. Brad, come on in. Welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. How about that? How did you know which line to run? Did you know you were going to get that pass?
Yeah, Shooter likes throwing stuff like that all the time. So once I saw him sort of running infield, I just,
Oh, I don't think the internet's that good in Hamilton, Angus.
But what's that? Surely your 501,000's got your Skype going on. Is he gone, or?
I'm just...
Hamilton's got everything. The Tron. It's the future.
The
future's gone. Here he is.
He's back.
He's back. Spuddy. Check. 1, 2. 1, 2.
I tell you what, if he can't talk, then he can't defend himself. But what I love, because before the show starts, we check in with them and make sure the reception's all great. And he had no shirt on. No shirt on. He was charging around these little red budgie smugglers. And now he's gone back. He's put the Chiefs apparel on. Adidas, obviously a sponsored Adidas athlete. Mate, well done.
But I mean, that's what we do down there. We represent the Chiefs with pride. It's Chiefs mana. Spud, can you talk to us, or are you
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Anyway, we'll get back to the good stuff, mate. You had 2 tries. You show your little your celebrations. You got the shark, and some people might not know the other one. You're cleaning up. Tell us what's going on there.
That was a self-given nickname, the janitor, Angus. You know the story behind that, but it's from cleaning up after all your missed tackles last year. The boys sort of said, Webby's always cleaning up, and I said, so yeah, boys, just call me the janitor. And I've tried to make it stick, but it hasn't really caught on yet.
Webby, what sort of influences Gats had on the boys down there? I mean, he's quite old school and good operator. I mean, you guys look like you're enjoying yourself.
No, Gats has been great, mate. He's it's been really refreshing, the sort of style he brings, and he knows what he wants around training and what he wants to get out of it, and the boys have really responded well. So, look, he's and obviously he's a bit of a celebrity around the Waikato region, so it's pretty cool being able to play for a local celebrity here.
Webby, forget about the rugby this weekend, mate. I've spoken to Antonino Brown, and he reckons your NRL fantasy team's going good guns, mate. How are you going to go?
I'm going to smoke Anton Leonard Brown. I'll give you that for free. He's the biggest smack talker you'll ever meet, and I think he learnt that from you, Millsy.
Hey. I'm humble, mate. I'm humble.
Webby, I got a question. You could start one, drop one, and bench one. TJ Pitt another, Aaron Smith, Justin Marshall.
Wow. Oh, that's a good question for you.
Run.
You could drop Marshy.
Come on. Definitely drop Marshy. What are you thinking?
You've got him.
Chuck yourself in this, bud.
No, I'll just... Well, come on, there's a stitch up there. Surely you could have come up with something a bit better than that.
Oh, yeah. What about your golf? How's that going, bud?
It was going good until I went down to Queenstown and had a few beers with you, and then I tried to play the next day, and I think I'm going to throw my clubs in the lake. I've had enough now.
Oh, we've had enough of Israel Dagg's questions.
Yeah.
So thanks very much
Thank
for
Kirstie
joining
for
us,
that. She
Brad.
gave me
And
that one.
all the very best tomorrow night. Go well.
Go well, Spuddy.
Good on you.
I miss you.
Bud.
I miss you too, man.
Oh, he didn't like that one.
Kirstie,
Thanks, Brad.
is it just me, or does the whole of the NZR rugby players play golf these days?
And they've all got bad.
All we've heard about is this golf. Do you play golf?
No, I'm terrible.
I thought it was something we do when we retire. We start slowly swinging a club, but obviously you boys are all playing.
You've
Good for the
retired?
body, isn't it?
I've retired, yeah.
You
Still
play
look
golf?
better than you, but no, I retired.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, let's move on.
Excuse me, have a look.
We're done with these guys, aren't we? We're done. Okay, we're going to talk about the Hurricanes and their amazing wingers. Ben Lamb, how good is he going this season? As he do some work?
Ben Lamb, he is, obviously he's getting a few tries, scoring from tries. He's good with the ball in front of him, man. He's quick, he's unstoppable, he's physical, he can bust through tackles like this. But it's the things that you don't see that I'd love to see Benny do a bit more. Just get around and off nine with TJ. TJ snipes a bit and you know, getting and looking. Because some days when the ball doesn't go his way, he can just chill for a bit. So just go looking for the ball. But he's going unbelievable. Get the ball in front of him. He's good.
Another Aucklander, Alli?
Yeah, I mean, he reminds me of Jose Guerre, one of those guys that's so heavily based on confidence. If Ben Lamb is confident, he is unbeatable and just gets into the game. And for me, it's like when he breaks those shackles, he's one of the best on the field in any given day.
Okay, well, you talk about breaking shackles. This guy is just breaking defences in halves. And we've got a new segment. It's called the Hardcore Analysis piece. And Mills, you're up. What have you got for us?
It's straight down here, straight right there. Yep.
Down the barrel.
My hardcore analysis is if I was standing in front of Laumape, I would get the hell out of the way because this guy can run.
Well, let's see it, eh? Here he is. Here he is running at full tit. And as you say, no one wants to stand in front of this. Or do you, maybe, Angus?
Oh, you know, you like to back yourself. You see the boys playing a bit of touch there. But, I mean, he's been one of the form 12s for the last couple of years. And I think the last, you know, when they played the Sunwolves and he just has 40-metre steam up, I don't think anyone wants to be standing in front of that.
And I think when you talk about Ben, you know, working a bit harder off the ball, it's because, you know, he often waits because he's got guys like this, you know, when they're like blockbusting runners and that. So sometimes you have to get off your wing and work around and not just wait because guys like Laumape and co, they'll just keep trucking it up, you know, all day.
But what I love about that, doing a bit of primetime Deion Sanders, is he's enjoying it, you know. And you think Laumape's this big guy who's just a big bully, but he loves to have a laugh as well and have fun. So it's awesome to see that.
OK, well, we're very close to the end of the show, but there's other games of rugby and all we've talked about is the Chiefs game, go figure. Let's talk about the Blues very quickly because they are taking on the Lions. They're on a 3-match winning streak. They're winning, Alli, and we need to talk about them because you're here. The number 8s, Hoskins, Satutu and Akira Ioane. How do you pick between these two?
Yeah, we're lucky there, aren't we? That both players are on form. I think Kira, he's sort of had a wake-up or I think he's just relaxed and he's got no stress on his shoulder. Satutu, I mean, look, way to make an impact in your first season. He's got speed, he's got skill, and I think the other thing is what I hear is that he's just really keen to learn. And when you're young and you want to learn, anything's possible. So, no, we're lucky at the Blues, and look, 3 in a row, I mean, it's sort of pretty standard, really. Unfortunately, it's pretty standard.
Which way?
Akira Ioane, Mills, what about him?
I would say that.
I mean, Ali spoke about it before, you know, he hasn't had much game time, he's sort of set there waiting. So last week really was huge for him in terms of how he was going to come back and return. And it was this sort of stuff that I really loved, you know, getting amongst the physicality. He was, you know, he was really good at that, but he's got himself back in there look, and a little bit happy. So when you're sitting there for a wee while, he didn't go on tour, you know, all of a sudden the mental side comes into it, and he's really come back well last week.
Well, that's all we have time for tonight. It goes fast, doesn't it? Thank you so much for coming on, Alli. Hopefully you get a call back next week. Thanks, Angus. Thanks, Mills. Thanks, Izzy. And, of course, thank you very much for watching at home. We'll see you next Thursday for Thursday Night Kickoff. Welcome into Kickoff After Dark. Today we are previewing the Crusaders up against the Sunwolves in Suncorp. And, well, this game was supposed to be being played overseas, Angus, but they've had to move it because of COVID-19. Is that much of a distraction for these guys?
Well, I mean, it's probably better for the boys, the Crusader boys heading over. Obviously, a different story for the Japanese lads. Different story for Mills as well. He's heading over to Brisbane now. But I mean, it's just another game. You know, you're still going to prepare for a battle, and they've made a few changes, but I think they're probably going to get up.
Mills, what have you thought of the Crusaders' performances this year?
Well, last week they were really sort of they were challenged, weren't they, by the Reds? I mean, they obviously lost the game against the Chiefs, and they came back well and smacked up the Blues. But really, I mean, when you look at it, it's been a hard ask for the Sunwolves. They've been away from home for a very long time. They didn't know whether they're going to play this game. They've had a game sort of cancelled as well. But, they're going over there against a Crusader team that really you'd think, that they will sort of, put them to the sword.
Yeah, do you look at this one, Alli, as the back-to-back-to-back champions in the Crusaders and just automatically bank the points?
Yeah, I mean, if you're just a layman rugby person that goes off results, this is in the bag for them, really. But why do we watch sport? Because there is an unknown doubt, and travel, all sorts of stuff could go on, but mate, there's no way the Crusaders will lose this.
Azzy, have you been into the Crusaders, and how do you think they would have responded to that very, very close win over the Reds?
I spoke to a few lads this week, and shout out to my boy Davies up in hospital. Say all the best for the recovery, brother. So that's a big loss for them. But they would have looked hard in the mirror on Monday. Just the Reds. I think the Reds played very well. They deserved. They exposed them out wide, and they would have looked at the defence and had a lot of work on Monday and Tuesday. But this week, speaking about the Chiefs rotating, the Crusaders have rotated a whole new squad, and it's great for these young guys to get that exposure in a game like this against the Sunwolves, where, no disrespect, they should get up, but it'll still be a test for these guys. Dallas McLeod at 12, who's looking good. Brett Cameron, who's Richie Mo'unga's backup, who needs the game time. So, and Bryn Hoy, our good mate, he's captain. So big shout out to him as well. And captain. So there's a great opportunity for these young lads to go over there and wear the jersey and hopefully do it with pride.
Yes, the next generation of Crusaders will be on display, so check that one out against the Sunwolves in Brisbane on Saturday evening. Welcome back to Kick-Off. It is the post-match, and while Sunday midday, the game that you need to check out, the Jaguares going up against the Highlanders. It's been a tough old season for the Highlanders after losing so much experience, Izzy. Yeah, it's been tough for them, and I feel for them. Not really, they're down in Dunedin, so I shouldn't. But no, it has been a tough start for Nuggy. Aaron Smith, he's down there working his guts out, trying to get the W. But just critical moments for the Landers boys, and just maybe, like you said, a little bit of experience missing with Bender, and then even like a Nasi Manu, you lose those guys, it is tough to replace. But I think they'll hate me saying it, I think in a few years they'll be good for it, because these young guys will get a lot of experience. And I look back to when Lima and those boys came in, a couple of years later they won a title. So they just got to keep your heads up and keep trucking away for me. How do you do that? How do you keep your head up when you've only got one win this season, Alli?
Oh, I mean, it's a bit of soul searching, you know what I mean? You sort of go internally and you find the reason you play the game, the enjoyment you get off your mates, and more than anything, you just simplify things. I mean, Aaron Major, he's a class outfit. He knows what he's doing, especially in sort of those desperation times, and just go back to basics. Jaguares, I mean, they probably aren't doing as well as what they've done off previous seasons, and this could be the opportunity or the spark that the Highlanders need to kick into gear. And it only takes one game to turn it around, and this could be it, lads, for them. Yeah, and Aaron Major he's a very proud man. There's no doubt in the back of everyone's mind, with the coaching staff, that they were rebuilding. There's a lot of inexperienced guys there. They had a lot of guys that have sort of left. So now really it's just about galvanising, coming together and saying, man, simplify things. Let's try and get some points out of this game, and then you sort of go home. I know it's only round 7, but there's still plenty of X factor there. I think that's just the one thing. They just haven't quite sort of gelled as well together, and that's probably purely because of inexperience here. Yeah, I mean, I've been in a position where we haven't won games, and if you get bogged down... Not for the Blues you haven't, mate. Yeah, but I think we almost got the record for most losses in a row. But, it's quite easy just to get bogged down on all that stuff, and I suppose what they need to do is go out and just back themselves and do the things that they know that they can do, simplify things. So when you get up there, you're not overthinking stuff, and maybe when the pressure comes on, you're not thinking, here we go again. Well, thanks very much. And that is it. Sunday midday, the Jaguares up against the Highlanders. Make sure you check that one out.